I believe that's the, damn, that's a very quick notification. Um, Alright, I'm going to have my phone open just because well, the last few days the internet and YouTube hasn't liked me, so. Hello, Said. I don't like how little internet connection I have to everyone right now. Look how little. I'm going through, just red everywhere. I do not like that. But yeah, so first couple of races, well, first race tonight Japan, second race United States at Kota. Can't get away with saying. That is a lot of red. That is a lot of red. That changed rather quickly. I don't know if we're still live. Are we still live? I think we are. It looks like we're still live. Which is... I don't know. But the sooner we can get going, the better. While this is still up. How is everyone else doing? I should probably open the window because I'm boiling in here. I'm in fact going to do that. I'm going to cool myself down a little bit. Because I'm going to assume it's going to be chaos. Look at some of the people on the grid. You wouldn't expect an awful lot of crashes. There's a few very clean drivers here, but we have seen plenty of times before. Also, the Ferrari doesn't exist for me apparently. Who is just the Ferrari doesn't have a name. The Ferrari is a redacted entity. Rigo wants my A game, since there'll be no chaos tonight. There's more chance of winning the lottery than no chaos tonight, mate. But yeah, no, waiting on one more, I think. And then we get going at Japan, one-shot qualifying. Coming off a sprint week that I did not do commentary for, because I was recovering from the Bahrain the week before. And quite frankly, it was not a pleasant race, I've been told. Rather a extremely chaotic one. Reports left, right, and centre. A couple of 25-second penalties were enforced, to my knowledge. I get to see more of it today. Going to Japan, and this is usually a track that provides crashes and or exceptional racing. Stream should be up. I hope the stream's up. Stream better be up. Is Mike just blind? Yeah, Mike's just blind. It is up, don't worry. Yeah, okay. Good. As soon as someone asking past 8 o'clock when stream, it's like, come on, there's been notifications up and down this thing that's from YouTube and the server by this point. Got to sort that out. But yeah, no, I can't be having that kind of question. Make me question whether it's up. Hello, Mike. You done making me have a little bit of a panic attack. I still don't know who this Ferrari is. Can someone please... Well, Matt's in a Red Bull. Matt retires immediately, so going into just a studio ready to watch it all crumble over again. Well, currently Reaper in 4th. Staber on a flying lap right now. Is currently in 1st. Bloodway 2nd. Big Turn's 3rd. It looks like there's a Ferrari in there. There is a Ferrari there. I'm not entirely sure who the Ferrari is, and that's a problem. Because their name just doesn't exist. I'm just going to call him Redacted the entire time. I'm still out of ERS. I swear to God, Rico. The amount of times you used ERS when you did not have ERS on Sunday night was torture to watch. So go continue down to Spoons there. You got Jay in 2nd. J-Ray, sorry. And Staber still currently out in 1st and in control of all this. Joe in 3rd, Alu 4th, Reaper 5th, 6th is Jacko. Big Turn 7th, Redacted in 8th. I'm just going to call it Redacted because it's going to be a funnier joke for the entire night. I don't know why his name is not showing up. J-Ray's out. J-Ray was 2nd, but he's out, and Staber's going to be on pole. And he's on pole by just over 0.2 of a second. Joe 2nd. Jacko 3rd. Decent last couple of corners to earn him a spot on the 2nd row. Reaper 4th in the Red Bull had a shot, but with Staber and Joe in front, he might be asking for a lot from here. But then you've got Alu in 5th and Pastion in 6th. And it looked like Alu and Reaper were right beside each other there. They're really close. 500, no, not even 500, 5,000ths of a second split the two. You got about 0.3 of a second to Pastion in 8th. Swen in 6th, sorry. Swen in 7th, Jagger in 8th. Decent way off. Charizard in 9th, Big Turns 10th. Robin and Boomer, the Dutch 6th row, 11th and 12th. Jack in the Haas in 13th alongside Saeed. Mini Turns and Mike, 15th and 16th, the only ones to set a time. Adam, Blood, and Matt and J-Ray all without a time and all starting right from the back. Way too curious, Rico. Yeah, no. I'm not sure he's curious. Sadistic, maybe. Not curious. It looks like it's going to be dry for Japan at the very least. We'll see if we get a dry quota after this race. About 20 seconds until the start of the race. Today we enjoy, tomorrow we see the server ban. Oh God, I pray it's not like last week. I pray. Bahrain was bad enough. It looks like we aren't going for a formation lap, so it's 5 red lights, and it's lights out. Away we go. Who's getting the better start, Staber or Joe? And it looks like Joe has started with a flyer, but it looks also like Staber's going to hold it into turn 1, and Staber is going to hold it into turn 1, keeps it on the track as well. Alu and Reaper sat alongside each other, and Alu's going to hold the outside there and get it done. Not be able to make a move on Jacko as he's gone. Mike's gone. There's a 5-second penalty for Saeed for collision with Pasty. Pasty's in the gravel and somehow not in the wall. J-Ray also had a bit of a problem there as well. Gives Matt a couple of positions. Bloodwave and Milsey also move up. You've got, well, Mike out already. Pasty dropped from 6th all the way down to 19th off of. There has to be a collision there. So I guess that's 1 for the books already. Staber did extremely well, however, to get off away and, well, close the door essentially on Joe to start with. And Joe second, Jacko still in third. Alu got round the outside of Reaper in turn 1, which was pretty expertly done. One of the best things I've seen Alu do in a long time. Saeed still spun in front and killed Mike. Well, that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Obviously, soft medium or medium soft is the strategy. It should be a case of about to go. We are going to go. Who's sleeping? That's the real question. Swen has caught Reaper sleeping. Reaper not able to do the same to Alu in front of him. We've got a much closer train as we come out the safety car restart, and Charizard and Robin are going to go at it. Robin on the softs. And the Williams, though, gets overtaken by Mini, and we're going to have a 4-car race down the straight here as we go towards turn 1, and they're going 2 by 2, and now it's 3 by 1, I guess, and there's someone in the Alpine there going extremely wide and losing a couple of positions from it. Robin gets in front, followed by Charizard, followed by Milsey, who manages to make his way through on Mini, and then Bloodwave in behind as well. Not going to happen through the, nothing really going to happen through the S's unless someone spins out, though. And it doesn't look like we're trying to make something work with these softs against Charizard on the medium tire. Mildy, that's not how you're making things work, mate. That's AstroTurf on the outside of the curb there, and Saeed and Matt going at it, and they're both off the track. Something obviously happened there. Mini turns trying to go at Mildy, and he's going to have a real good go at this down towards Spoon. And I don't think he's going to be able to get it, though. Nope, Mildy's going to hold on just about, but he holds on nonetheless. Actually going to go up a little bit up the grid here, so we go watch Swen. Could not have been a better start if he tried. He could not have asked for anything better, Staber. Got himself a 1.5 second lead, got us to start fairly well, got him and closed the door in. When you do that, you give yourself the best chance of winning. It's now for Staber whether or not he's able. A bit laggy. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know what's going on, Rico. I don't know what's going on. Something's happened back here. What has happened? Bloodwave's gone off. Bloodwave has gone off. He's only lost a position. It's still buffer. Yep, it's buffering. I can't. The only better way I'm going to be able to continue doing this is through fucking clips at the end of this, right? But it is still going. You can see on my phone. You got Alu about 3.5 tenths behind Jacko as he continues his surge a little bit here. And Staber 2 seconds up the road now. Joe has got no answers whatsoever. I don't know like Alu's got any answers to Jack as Jack tacks himself onto the back of Joe as well. Going for the chicane now. Jacko's closing well into Joe. The McLaren on the Aston Martin right now. Doing a number, but not really going to be able to do anything else. Yeah. Once a minute starts buffering. Yeah, it's... I don't know. I can't tell you what's going on because I have no idea myself. It's been a couple of weeks like that now whenever I'm trying to do anything F1 related. GT worked fine though. GT had hosting a lobby yesterday and nothing really went wrong. There's 7 hours in the lobby at one point. This must just be streaming that's affecting it. Big Turn's the closest one on the... Actually, no, Charizard also trying right now. And Big Turns versus Boomer. And it looked like Big Turns got it done. Big Turns did get it done and got it past Boomer there. As well, he's still got another incident, and it's Millsy gone round. Millsy is in the gravel now. As passing goes past, Mini Turns went past as well, and Bloodwave is next in line. Still avoiding any sort of safety car though, only had the virtual safety car in lap 1. And a rather clean race right now, a few mistakes, but you're going to get mistakes in a race, 20 drivers, you'd certainly expect to anyway. I should have a look at where Jacko is right now as they head into the chicane again. Jacko really up to the back of Joe right now, but I don't think he's going to be able to do an awful lot with it. Joe comes into the pits after, what, 5, well, on the beginning of lap 5 now, so we're going to see what is going to happen here. But Joe on 4 laps on the soft tyres, it's a gamble. I'm surprised he hasn't gone for longer. Big Turns versus Boomer again, as Boomer manages to return the favour for what Big Turns did on the lap prior. Bloodwave in the pits and got 5 seconds worth of penalties for speeding, and I think Pasty and Millsy and Pasty and Millsy had followed him in or jumped him to it, one of the two, back there. It looks like Big Turd is going to try Boomer again. He's looked for it. He definitely looked for it, but he backed off. And if anything, he lost a little bit of time there and might be susceptible to Jack right behind him. You got Robin and Charizard also trying their best to go at each other behind him as well. A little bit of a touch there. Robin's going to hold that position. Going through, winding right corner right now, up towards Spoons and into the end of Sector 2, and this group from Boomer backwards has been separated from the front quite drastically. About 4 seconds split right now. We're going to go Boomer to Big Turns, who are right beside each other. Big Turns might look for it to the chicane here. He definitely did look for it. He had to back out of it because he realised he weren't close enough. Alu and Swen into the pits this lap. Jack not going into the pits as Boomer and Big Turns follow them in. Big Turns almost hit the back of Boomer there. Robin and Charizard stay out as well as Mini Turns follows the other two into the pits. Robin gets Jack. Robin and Jack are fighting, and it looks like Jack's going to get him. Oh, a little bit of a touch there. Almost the door shut. And Robin almost onto the grass. A little bit of a touch on the back wheel, and it's opened the door for Charizard, who's going to go down the inside himself. He's going to try and hang it. And he doesn't. Switchback also attempted, and he just could not find a way around the grass. Being Robin's best friend there. It looked like Saeed also had a bit of a problem entering the pits. Oh, and Charizard getting way too much throttle on the exit. Maybe a bit on the AstroTurf as well. Loses all the time in the world. And Jack's clear of Robin now because they were fighting. But right now, it looks like Staber with a convincing drive right now. Like, this is about as easy as it's going to get for Staber. As long as he can keep it on the track. We know Staber's got a problem for that though. He either goes big or goes home very routinely in this league. And Staber's going to be the next one into the pits, and I think Jack and Jaguar are going to follow him in, and they do in fact follow them into the pits. Jaguar gets 5 seconds to speed in the pit lane, which is not a penalty he would have wanted right about now. It looks like Charizard and Reaper are the two that's staying out. Medium soft, definitely a quicker strategy, especially if we don't get a safety car. And even if we did get a safety car at this point, I feel like the medium runners from the start of the race will be in a very good position to pit and stay out in front. We got Swen and Jaguar leaving the pits, and here we go. We'll see where these two are as here comes Boomer. Boomer, oh! Something's happened there! Jack's in the wall, Boomer's in the gravel on the opposite side of the track, and I think those two came together. Mini-Turn's also got a bit on the grass there as well. And I don't think anyone's come out very well from that altercation in turn 1. Boomer and Jack look like they were side by side, and Joe's got onto the grass as well. In a different part of the track, he was fighting Alu, and it's allowed for Alu to go on through rather easily and rather cleanly as well. Joe not going to put up a fight when he sees something like that happen. And Alu now got to realistically take Jack to the sword here. Staber first, net P1, Jacko net P2, Alu net P3. But if Alu can just take Jacko to the sword here, he might step himself onto the second step of the podium. Swen also going to try and take Joe here. He's going to look for the inside line, down the straight. He's going to get alongside. We're going to go into 130R with Swen in front. And Joe just losing places galore right now. The mistake that he made is not good for him. Cost him quite a decent chunk of time. Lost in position, Alu and Swen in front. It might lose him something to Jaguar as we come across as well. Reaper currently has a 10-second gap to Charizard and a 16-second gap to Staber in third. Yellow flag in sector 3. Something has happened there. Boomer's now in the pits because he has damage. Bloodwave's gone round as he tried to enter the pits. I think Pasty might have had a little bit of an incident as well, and we are just going left, right and centre with incidents now since the pits. Here comes Mildy versus Jack. The other AlphaTauri versus Jack this time. Boomer versus Jack did not turn out well the first time. Jaguar gets past Joe as well. Joe is not having a nice time of it. Mildy decided that the grass on the outside there was where he wanted to be, and they're going to fight each other, and it's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work out for Mildy. Jack's going to hold that position. He's going to hold it pretty well. We're going to also skip up the grid a little bit here and watch Joe versus Jaguar. They're going to go round through Spoon, and they're not going to have an overtake, surprisingly. Joe goes deep. Joe goes very deep. And loses a decent chunk of time to Jaguar there. Lost about 8/10 of a second, like 7-8 of a second on Jaguar just through Spoon's curve alone, and that's going to be a warning through 130R. Joe's not having a fun time of this. What about Mini-Turns and Robin? Might see something happen into the chicane here. Joe doesn't have a front left end plate. You might be right. Yes, you are right. What happened there? Didn't even see that. Yeah, that's bad that I didn't even see that. So that explains why Joe is falling down at quite a rapid rate. It also explains why he's... before Alu overtook him. So that's... would also explain why he went a little bit wide as well. So it was something a bit more... Staber might have put it in the wall! Staber has put it in the wall! Joe gets 3 seconds of Staber! As I was talking about, the big reputation for a go big or go home has gone home again. A mistake into the wall. He's now going to fight Swen, and Swen's got a full car without any damage. Staber does not. You'll see Staber take the Joe role of plummeting down the grid now. And that has opened the door for Alu versus Jack for the lead of this race. And Jack is currently commanding it. Staber, a mistake costs him again, and at this point you would have to ask, where would Staber be in this league if he was to keep the car on track at all times? We've got a three-way fight further down. Joe, Big Turns and Black Charizard as they go through into the chicane now as well. Joe's front end plate is missing, and so is Staber's, and Joe has decided that enough is enough. He can't really continue with that, so he is in the pit. Here comes Charizard to go against Big Turns, and I think Charizard's going to have that. Charizard is going to have that, albeit he goes a little bit deep through turn 1 and into turn 2, but his soft tire advantage showing very strongly there. He now needs to catch about 0.6 of a second here to get Jaguar and up into the top 5. Sabre and Joe now onto soft as well. They're probably going for the fastest start because their races sufficiently ended by mistakes of their own. And they got Jack versus Mildy as they go through the end of the S's and now into the tight double right-hander, and Jack just closing the door there on Mildy. Gets it done. Yellow flag in the first sector, and I think that is, yep, that's Pasty who's just dropped the car up the hill into a wall and lost his entire front wing as Sabre goes on through. And that is going to bring out a BSC. And that neutralizes this race a little bit with 3 laps left of the race. We'll go with about 1 and maybe 2 laps left. See how long this takes. I don't think it'll take long enough for people like Pasty to go all the way round, and Sabre's going to be cursing a little bit that that virtual safety car wasn't 20 seconds ago. If it was, him and Joe would have got a nice little pit stop, wouldn't have lost as many places, and the race might have been somewhat recoverable. It isn't at this point. They're going to have to settle for outside the top 10. We now head on to lap 11. This race has had its fair share of things that have happened. It's not been chaos. Oh! And Reaper gets a 20-second time penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. I'm surprised that's not a drive-through as it usually is. Don't know how that's happened, but I guess it's different penalty rules under the 25% work in F1. Or on the F1 game, so that's Reaper effectively out as well. Reaper's going to end 11th in this race. He's going to end just in front of Sabre. And the virtual safety car restart really hasn't brought an awful lot. Swen versus Jaguar. Jaguar able to get it. And it looked like Jaguar going to be able to force Swen to follow instead of Swen to try and close the gap on Alu, considering he doesn't need to get either one of these two drivers in front of him to get on the podium. Considered 5 seconds for Jaguar for speeding the pit lane, 20 for Reaper for absolutely throwing away a podium. We got about 0.4 of a second here as well. I'm actually going to have a look at what Mildy versus Jack is going to be like up into 130R. And it looks like Jack is essentially being pushed through the corner by Mildy. They're going to go side by side into the chicane. And it looks like round the outside, it's going to be hung very, very well here by Mildy. And the return fire from Jack with the DRS is just 2 turns too early for Mildy, I think. Yellow flag in sector 1. And I think that's a McLaren. That is a McLaren. It's Swen that's gone round after turn 1. And someone else has gone round as well. And it's Jaguar. And those two are fighting. So I would take a guess and say that might be a collision on the track. And it's brought these two into a fight with them as well. And it looks like Jaguar just gonna... Oh, there goes Jack! I'm not entirely sure what's happened to Jack there. He's gone round mid-corner. It didn't look like Jaguar or Mildy put a little bit of a tap on him. But at the end of the day, I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times before in these races. It is... probably not as much as last week, but it's starting to slowly devolve into some chaos here. You got Reaper who's trying to go after Alu, but that is entirely pointless. His best bet is to try and end above like Jack or Sabre at this point. Reaper does get Alu, which makes sure that Jack is going to be the winner of this race. And we've got mini turns versus big turns. We see, well, it's the turns battle right now. These two are going to go to war by the looks of things. Alpine versus Williams. They're both on the same tyres. It's a case of a pure skill between the two of them. And down into turn 1, the DRS, not enough for Mini to do anything here. Mini's going to have to just hang on and pray that he gets a second chance. Jaguar and Mildy fighting it out. It looks like Jaguar has got past Mildy down into turn 1. And that has been the case, but Mildy going to fight that back through turn 2. And into turn 3, round the outside, and Jaguar not really able to hold on to that, and well played by Mildy, spotting the mistake and pouncing on it. Exceptional work around the outside. Get that done is no easy task, especially around there. That's not an overtaking spot by any means. If you've got the guts and to make it work, you can do it clean, then that's the kind of move we want to see all day. And the back also, Bloodwave going after Boomer. You see Pasty behind them as well. Those fight out. Millsy leads the session because of a disconnect though, and it looks like here Mini Turns tried it. He did try it here with Big Turns. Also, that battle is going to be essentially over as we're going to skip quite to the front on lap 13 of 13, and since Staber put it in the wall after his commanded drive, Jack has won it convincingly. Alu comes second because Reaper's finishing out of the top 10. And Charizard is going to end in third after doing basically nothing the entire race. Big Turns versus Mini Turns. Big Turns going to get fourth, Mini Turns fifth. Reaper still tumbling down. Reaper might end seventh in the end actually, because Swen's problems. And Reaper actually going to end eighth. The incidents that were happening just in the middle of the field caused Reaper to gain maybe 3 or 4 positions there. Mildy 9th, Jack 10th, Staber 11th after the bin that cost him the entire race. What was a commanding drive thrown away in one corner. Jaguar in 12th after his penalties. J-Ray 13th after a mistake from him as well. He was fighting Staber at one point. Joe in 14th, his front left end plate realistically didn't do him any favours. Saeed 15th after his spin on lap 1. Never really got back into the race after that. Boomer in 16th. What did I just watch? So Pasty retired, Bloodwave retired, which allows for Matt to end 17th somehow. Pasty and Bloodwave, the line's like 2 corners further on. Okay, nonetheless. Well then, Staber, go big or go home. He went home again. It's allowed for Jacko, who's not having a nice season in Tier 1, to try and make Sprint his battleground now. He's on top of the world in Japan. It wasn't as memorable as some of the other Japan races that I have seen and this league has seen recently, but nonetheless, we had incidents all over the place. People spinning out on all but every corner of the track. A huge bottle by Staber in the process. It allowed for Jack to win from third, Alu to get second from fifth. Alu was pretty convincing the entire race as well. Charizard third from ninth. And I'm not entirely sure how he got on the podium. He basically had a nothing race the entire time. Big Turns from 10th ending 4th. And Mini Turns from 15th to 5th. That's rather impressive. It's given Charizard the driver of the day for ending the podium, but I think I might be switching. If I was to give one out, that might be to Mini Turns. Robin in 6th. I've seen worse strides from him. I've seen a lot better from him as well. Sweat in 7th. His mistakes costing him again. He could have had a huge shot at the podium here. Reaper in 8th, and well, we don't have to say any more about 20 seconds for drive-through, which a rookie error should not be happening. Millsy in 9th after, well, a decent fight back. Jack in 10th as well. Those two had a pretty good battle the entire time. They could have had a position or two extra if the incidents that happened in the S's with Jaguar and co didn't happen. Staber gets 11th after throwing his away. It was a lot of races where the guys you would have expected to end up winning that or come on the podium ended up throwing it away at basically every opportunity. Same with Jaguar. He got 5 seconds of speed in the pit lane, a couple of spins as well. J-Ray, a spin in the first race cost him a huge points haul. Joe had a problem with the front wing. I'm not entirely sure at this point how he even managed to get that. But it saw him plummet down and the pit stop to repair it and never recovered. Saeed never recovered from being out of the race essentially after lap 1, spinning in the S's. Boomer had his incident with Jack as well, which never really put him in the best place. When it comes to others, Pasty and Bloodwave, I'm not even entirely sure that they were what they were doing through the race. Mike died after 2 corners, so can't really compare. Reaper got robbed by the game. Jack had a default setup. How much do I don't believe that? Rigo saying that Reaper got robbed. I don't think he did. Yeah, Rigo, I'm not sure I agree with you there. I'm really not sure I agree with you. What I think has happened, because it happened on, what was it, like 11? 10? 11? Something of that nature. So the game, I believe, has recognised there's not enough time to reasonably allow him to pit. Because remember, if you finish the race with a drive-through, it disqualifies you. Looking back on what has happened, that's what I believe has happened here, and it gave him the 20 seconds in turn. That way, it wouldn't have to disqualify him. That's what I believe has happened. I think that's in the game, but I couldn't be entirely sure about that. Don't get out of the way. You don't get a reason to quote me from that. Is the stream link still working for everyone? Everything's still going all right? Because I know it's been laggy through the day. Not through the day, but through that first race. I want to make sure that everyone is still able to watch this properly. Also, we go in about 2-ish minutes time, by the way. For those still in the stream, we've got about 2 minutes-ish until we start at Kota, bearing in mind it's reverse grid. So that means we have a Mike Pole, a very rare Mike Pole sighting. I love how my YouTube is recommending me shorts while I'm trying to find out where I am in terms of my own stream. Where's Charizard messaging me about? Charizard saying I can mention that. I feel like I'm going to leave that one off. But yeah, then we go through into Kota next. Looks like we're about to go. Yeah, Kota. So 14 laps of Kota. We have another race tonight. Yes, we do. It is a Tuesday. That means we have a 25% race followed by a second 25% race. It's not a Thursday night and not a Sunday night where we are done with about 50% races. Albeit Thursday and Sunday is at Hungary, and well, Hungary is an absolute, it's just an awful track. Awful track. I know that's going to get some people riled up by me saying that. Cough, cough, but still, absolutely god-awful track. Also we should be going in the next minute or so, and I think that is in chat giving the go-ahead for us to set up for Kota, and that is exactly what is going to happen. You missed the first. We go through the first race, and it looks incredibly heated in chat, in particular between Sven and Jaguar. We saw that incident happen as it went along. We also saw the resulting incident between that and Jack and Milsey that happened on the following lap as well after the spin. And yeah, that first race was admittedly not as bad as I've seen from Sprint before. Cough, cough, Bahrain. And well, albeit I didn't see it. I'll bring up Monza again, but I don't. But that'll be the last time I do bring that up. But there's still a lot going on, and I, quite frankly, still feel very sorry for the stewards, because apparently there's still people arguing. Which is what everyone wants to see. What do you mean? Also, GT Tier 4 is, Jesus Christ, okay. Slightly deep with the submissions from the dude at GT. If you haven't watched the GT races, they happen on a Monday, but they periodically drop through the week. And it's 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go here at Kota, and it's past even Mike 1-2 on the reverse grid, as you've got a few people fighting their way through. And there's a dive bomb there from, I think that's Jaguar, and half the grid has been taken out already. There's an incident there, there's an Aston Martin, an Alfa Romeo, a Ferrari. I think a couple of extra things happened. There's a front wing that's gone flying there. What the hell is going on? And Mini Turns, I think, doesn't have a front wing at all. I think it's Mini Turns here, it is Mini Turns, the one. Oh no, it's not. It's Robin without a front wing, sorry. And I guess we're not done with the chaos. So, we had a extreme lunge from an Alfa Romeo and a few lost cars. I feel like there was 4 or 5 there. We had a Ferrari that went round, an Aston Martin that went round. Alfa Romeo went back beside that Aston Martin off turn 1 as well. We had a front wing lost on the Williams. That was a lot that happened there. And we got again, so Pasty about 5 tenths in the lead, followed by Joe, followed by Saeed, followed by Boomer. So your top 4, J-Ray in 5th. Staber in 6th after starting mid-pack, after throwing away his last one. Jack gets 3 seconds for corner cutting straight up, not even track limits, just straight up cut the corner. And hello, Spec, and yeah, what is the best way I can describe that as well. And there goes Robin, who's just going extremely wide and cut straight across Charizard as he comes into the pits. That almost ended in disaster, and I think who's the other car that's followed him in? Swen also went into the pits as well, so Swen obviously dealing with a little bit of damage, and we've got big turns followed by Charizard and Jacko going at it. Jacko with the switchback from the outside to the inside. Can he hang it round back round the outside? It would be extremely impressive, but no, he backs off. And that's probably the wise thing to do. That way him and Big Turns does not crash. And they're still hanging on the back of each other. Charizard able to get away. Mini Turns in front of that also able to get away. Also got a little bit of a fight brewing between the, well, 5th through 8th. And what the actual fuck is basically what I say every single time I watch Sprint at this point. And we've got the lead, we got a change for the lead of the race as Joe and Pasty go at each other. And Joe gets it done finally into the hairpin, and this should be cruise control here for Joe from this point onwards. Oh, there goes Mildy, who's just lost it on the throttle out of the hairpin. Not going to be happy with himself for that one. We've got that needs to be on the tyre, and we got J Ray's just hanging right on the back of Boomer here as he's trying to avoid a collision course of his own, and they're going to go side by side here. And J Ray round the outside, he hangs it, and oh my god, that is incredible. That is an incredible move there from J Ray round the outside. I'm not sure Boomer expected it. Caught out nonetheless, and that is incredible. That is an incredible move, and Boomer's going to go for one of his own here on the inside, and the Alfa Romeo going to try and tack it into a freeway, and he doesn't do it very well. He's going to be the one to lose out here, and it looks like J-Ray gets an awkward line into the corner. Staber gets 3 seconds of the result, and those two are still side by side. And there comes, there's a collision! And he taps the inside of Boomer, and then at the result collects Staber as well. J-Ray hits the inside of Boomer, collects Staber, and they've both gone round, and there goes Jack at the top of the hill. Way too much fall. He goes round. And I guess I was jinxing it by saying we hadn't had proper chaos yet, because, well, welcome to Sprint proper. This is more like Sprint. And we've still got people who are close, but no real battles happening right now, Mike. Yeah, the unfortunate third party for murder, I guess, into turn 1. It looks like Charizard loses out his position to Jacko there. Jacko having a really good time at this. And Jacko's having an extremely good day. Might be able to put himself in for a championship spot at this point. Yellow flag in sector 3. We've got problems happening here, and that's a Haas. And Staber goes into the pits. Atlu goes into the pits as well. And the Haas is Jack that goes round. Mini turns also. See, you don't even need me in sprint for incidents. Nope. Apparently nobody can drive. You have had a point proven today, Joker. That's for sure. Mini turns, not really able to get that working on Charizard. We walk behind between Mike and Big Turns. The Turns crew going for a couple of decent races today. They had an alright one in Japan like 20 minutes ago. Mini Turns also, aren't you banned? I've lost count of who's banned at this point. I don't even know. I'm sure he'll be in the chat to answer you in a minute. As Mini Turns is going to try and pull himself alongside Charizard here. Bear in mind, Mini Turns with the DRS and with a 3-second time penalty clears Charizard quite easily down into the hairpin, but clearing him's not enough. He now needs to break a gap as he tries to go after Jacko. And they look like Big Turn's able to do the same to Mike. Just a slight further back as 3.5 seconds split the two. And it looks like Mike's getting really close to the back here, and Boomer versus Mildy round the outside there, able with the softs. And Joe comes into pit. Mildy comes into pit. The yellow flag in sector 3, and it's Mike. Mike has gone round. Matt goes past him. As we're going to watch a couple of people try and fight out now, the top of the grid. All separate because of pit stops. To the yellow flag again, and I think that might be Jack again. And it is Jack again. Not in front, still not in front of Bloodwave though. And well, it's J-Ray's now going to go fighting the back of that fight as well. Mini Turns did very well to close that gap quite quickly. And Jack's out of the session. Jack is out of the session. Staber's also in the pits again. As things are not going well for Staber today. As right now you've got Pasty in first, but I believe Net P1 is in the hands of the Aston Martin that currently follows the battle we're watching. As J-Ray with the DRS just simply not able to get near Bloodwave. Still got Mini Turns and Jacko further up the grid fighting out. As for the rest of the grid, Mildy and Mike not able to do anything. Yellow flag in sector 1 is still Jack's car doing laps of the circuit somehow. And now yellow flagged in 1, 2 and 3 and there's an incident! And it's Mini Turns that's gone round the same place that Jacko had gone round a couple of laps prior. Jack goes around a couple of laps prior, sorry, Jacko comes into the pits now. And, oh, what the? How is there an incident? They've got into the pits! One was trying to go into the pits. I think J-Ray was trying to attempt to go into the pits. I'm going to need a second view of that one. I've caught the end of it, but not everything that happened. And oh, what the hell is going on? And you see Jacko and Mike fighting out right now, and they're just in front. Adam and Bloodwave. Bloodwave got no front wing, I'm assuming, as a result. Well, he still has an entire car intact somehow as a result of that collision, but he's got damage. He has absolutely got damage. Yellow flag sector 1 and 2 caused by the Aston Martin. I need a second view of what the hell just happened between J-Ray and Bloodwave. Yellow flag in sector 1 is a Mercedes. I caught right at the end, but that's only seeing what the carnage that unfolded. Yellow flag is a J-Ray. Again, J-Ray. Spins just cost him today, and there goes Jacko on Mike, and that was never really in doubt. Mike gonna try and look for a second shot at that, but not gonna get it. Also, an incident here between Reaper. Yeah, Reaper's gone round. I was gonna have a look at what Reaper's done there, and he spun it again. And he got his rear of his car into the wall, and I think that might be rear wing damage and a DNF as well. But to suit, I think J-Ray's not far following. I'm surprised that's not bringing out a safety car. Well then, all I'm going to say is, I'm glad I'm not a steward. I'm really glad I am not a steward. Bloodwave's out. Bloodwave's out. What's happened here? Bloodwave is out from rear wing damage. I'm assuming the incident between him and J-Ray effectively ended both of their races, to be honest with you, and I'm still incredibly surprised safety car was never pulled out for any of this. Got yellow flag in sector 1 and 3, and I think there's an Alfa Romeo heading into the pits again. Either way, or has nope, the Alfa Romeo just spun it. Hold on, yellow flag in sector 1. Says Swen gets 3 seconds worth of time penalties. Saeed currently in P4. Tonight we feast, tomorrow we go under with a ship. I'm not sure this is bad as Monza, but it is certainly not that far away by the looks of things. I know I said at the beginning of the race that, oh, Milsey's lagged out again, and I think that might open the door for Saeed to put himself on the podium here. Is he going to go past? Oh, never mind. No, he's not. He's going to lose the car entirely. Opens the door for Milsey to get back in with his P3 still intact. Jacko also hunting him down. J-Ray's DNF, so we're down 4. Yellow flags in sector 3. Yellow flag in sector 3. It's Alu now. It's Alu that's gone round this time. We don't need to continue to watch the incident between everything else that's going on there. The AI of Mildy is currently driving, so you won't see a lunge going into turn 1, or if you do, then that would be extremely surprising, as Jacko is now going to go around the AI. Yellow flag in sector 3. Staber again. We got a safety car. I think Staber has just induced a safety car. I think Staber's incident may have, his spin there in sector 3 may have just induced a safety car. Which is even weirder. Because there was no one even around him, and we've seen that spin about 45 times by this point. And Staber picking up a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. What is going on? So there's a lap one, the lap 1 incident where 4 people jacked. You can't overtake under the safety car, mate. He realised that and let the AI continue on. This is just a case of how long Jack can survive from not overtaking the AI. So we had the incidents on lap 1. There's 4 cars around there. Then Miniturns lost his rear wing. And then after Miniturns lost his front wing, we had the incident between J-Ray and Bloodwave. The God knows how many spins that has happened. And then you had the incident between Staber, Boomer, and J-Ray as well. That happened. It was Robin that lost his front wing. Sorry, not Miniturns. So yeah, no, we've had a good number of things happen in this race. Also, I clearly don't get the Chaos races as a whole, or this one might be excluded, from that sentence. It's just the Chaos starts that I seem to be getting. The one in Bahrain a couple of weeks back as well, between the Aston and the Mercedes, was completely just... I've never seen it before. I've never seen two people manage to crash on a straight line off the start of the race. That's impressive. We currently watch the entire grid bunch up. Still gonna go... We're probably gonna go back a lap 11. Mildy gonna join, take control of his car, and be in front of Boomer. Sorry if it sounded a little bit echoey there. I was just trying to take a drink and was talking at the same time. It looks like that it's Mildy regaining control of his car. The real question is, for those who stayed out, do you pit now? It doesn't look like anyone's going in. Joe just weaving a little bit to warm up the tyres. I'm not sure it's necessary, but we'll go one more at the very least. Maybe, yeah, we'll go one more. It's either coming in at the end of this, we'll have 11, 12, 13, 14, or comes in at the end of 11 with 12, 13, 14, 3 laps left of the race. We'll wait and see. Matt comes into pit. Onto the soft tyres he goes and comes out 15th. And we thought removing some people who were consistently causing issues, causing crashes and all that in sprint may have made it cleaner. It's just been, yeah, I feel like some people might be getting penalties today. I'm not entirely sure though. I need a second look at turn 1. I also need a second look between Bloodwave and J-Ray, because I cannot imagine the chat right now is in a good state at all. Jaguar is probably done. Swen's got something to lobby against him in Suzuka. I'm pretty sure, I doubt it was Staber making a move like that into turn 1. I think it was Jaguar. I want a second look at what happened between J-Ray and Bloodwave. That's all I want to see. That's all I'm going to say about that incident. I want a second look at it. Turn 1 was Jaguar. I had a funny feeling it was, but I wasn't going to double down and pin the blame on someone who could have been wrong. Two cars of the same livery on the track, so. But safety car coming in now, so we're going to have 11, 12, 13 and 14 to go at. Well, the real question is who wins from here. Boomer and Charizard, probably a favourite. They've got to get through 4 people. Those 4 people on the medium tyres, they're on fresh softs with 4 laps to go. And here we go. We've gone. Joe has started, and I think Saeed has decided he didn't want to take that corner. So Milsey is now going to have a real good go at him, or he should have had a good go at him, before Boomer goes around the outside and Milsey down the inside of Saeed, and we might have a switchback here. And Boomer's going to get Saeed. Saeed's had an awful corner. Milsey gets him to the inside. Boomer gets him to the outside, then to the inside as well, and Boomer takes that position. And I think Charizard went on through. And then Boomer picks up 3 seconds for penalties of track limits. Oh, Boomer. Oh, Boomer. That is not what you wanted after you had a convincing point at this race now. We go down the grid. Saeed has to still fight off the likes of Big Turns, and now Jacko as well. As Jacko's got fresh tyres, and Jacko's going to have a good go at this. Jacko with probably as well, maybe in the same corner. Depends on whether or not he can get himself a Big Turns down the inside. He's going to get it into the hairpin. It's a nicely timed move, and it's probably one we could have saw from a mile out. And Jacko now has a shot at Saeed, and he looked to the inside. He's still looking to the inside. But I don't think he's going to have the exit quite to hand. Saeed here is still going there between Boomer and Milsey in the foreground. And I think we're still going here between Jacko and Saeed goes deep after almost really shutting the door on Jack. And Jack's going to get on through. Jack has a little bit of a gap to close down to Charizard on the same type of tyres now. Saeed a bit too far back to make a lunge into turn 1 stick. Looks like mini turns, and Swen are going at it. Swen on the outside, now on the inside, and I don't think there's an awful lot left in that. I think we might have Mike try to go the long way around on Swen here, and he does, but he gets it all wrong, and Jaguar's going to go on through as well. And it's all still going on, and we still got a Haas versus a Ferrari back here. And it looks like Mike's out. Mike's out. Mike has spun. I'm not sure if that was under a touch, but he's gone nonetheless. He's DNF'd, and Staber pulls up another position. Here comes Mini on Robin. Mini's going to have the DRS. Well, not DRS yet, but it has the slipstream and the inside line as well. And he's not going to be able to get it fully done on Robin yet, who's going to head that right down the inside. And this goes in 3 wide. Oh, and there goes Swen on Robin! And Swen just stuck his nose in. He thought there was space. And Robin's gone round after Swen touches the back tyre. And I think that might be another one for the stewards to decide. We still have a fight for the lead here. DRS is now enabled. Joe second up. Milsey in the second. Milsey currently in second if you take into the account for penalties. And I think Charizard would scrape his way back onto the P3 again onto the bottom step of the podium. And after coming back from an operation not that long ago, double podium would be extremely well done. Looking to see if Jacko can steal it away from him though. Can Jacko in the McLaren just end the hopes of a double podium here for the Mercedes? He's going to try down the inside, looted the car a little bit, but still gets the position and send it deep. It's allowed for Charizard to come back with the inside line. He should send it to the inside. He does. Who's going to get the better exit? And it looked like the outside line is the better place to be on when you're getting the exit out of the hairpin there. And Jacko is going to take the bottom step of the podium away from Charizard. And it looks like there's not an awful lot Charizard can do to end this charge now from Jack, who's now looking to try and make a way through to Mildy before the end of the next lap or so. See if he can steal a second out of this. Bear in mind, he already won the first race. If he can get Mildy a 1 and a 2 on the day, would be incredibly good for Jacko, who's going to go down the inside on Boomer here, and he could make this stick. He backs out of it, though. I'm not going to lie, I would have put it down the inside of Boomer there. As long as you can do it clean, it would have been a fair move. We see Jacko is just not close. Mildy left the session again. Mildy connection has just cost himself probably second on the podium here. His AI now needs to go the length of the lap without losing out. I doubt he's going to be able to do it. 0.3 of a second split the two right now. Boomer hanging off the back. Well, Boomer not hanging off the back, but making sure Jacko's hanging off the back of him. ALR also trying to go really, really close to Jaguar. We've seen a couple of incidents with Jaguar already today. Also, Saeed going way too deep into the hairpin again, and here comes Boomer, and here comes Jacko with the DRS. Boomer gets past, and Jacko gonna send it on 1, maybe sends it on 2. And he's gonna send it on Mildy AI at the very least, and takes himself second on the podium. And if I'm Mildy, I'm getting control of that car, because if I don't get control of that car, Charizard's gonna steal the third. And there goes Jack to the inside. He's somehow not been able to get a good enough exit to take Boomer. He's gonna get a better run though. Look at that. The switchback to the inside and gets it done. Jacko is quite literally on fire tonight. And Joe, fairly uncontested, wins in USA. Pasty gets second. Jacko actually gets third in the end because Pasty cleared enough of a gap. And Pasty gets second, and that's pretty well done from the Ferrari, from second on the grid as well. Joe wins very comfortably in the United States. Pasty second, Jacko third, Mildy fourth. Charizard fifth after Mildy got regained control of his car. Saeed sixth after Boomer's penalty, puts him seventh. So big turns missing out by 0.5 of a second. Yellow flag in sector 3 is for Staber. Jaguar in ninth, but penalties are probably going to hinder him. ALR's got 10th on track, but penalties probably jumped him up a position or two. Mini turned 11th for suffering the same fate. Swen in 12th, Matt in 13th, Robin in 14th after losing his front wing in the first couple of corners, and Staber on the line to end 15th. My voice did not like that. However, I hope you all enjoyed. You know, after Suzuka, I thought there was a small hope. There was a small hope that we could go a weekend sprint without chaos. Nope. No, I was wrong. I was definitely wrong. But nonetheless, I appreciate you all joining me in this, just to well, see how long we can hold the will to live. But I think I'm going to leave that to the stewards now. We've gone through race 1. We did it. So we did Suzuka. That looked pretty nice. We did race 2. That was the United States at Kota. And I think that's my cue to leave you all until Thursday night, where you can be watching either Tier 1 with our man or Tier 4 with Jack around Hungary, where there might not be anywhere near as much chaos as the one you saw in the second race tonight. But nonetheless, I'll see you guys again on Sunday. Peace.